Hey, welcome back to the channel, you guys. I want to talk about a series on Netflix. It's called Stay Close. Now, this is a Harlen Corben series, okay? And the reason why I brought this up on my phone because I want to tell you about some of the movies that I watched that's by this guy. I think he's a writer. Anyway, I'll give you the plot synopsis and I'll just give you a quick outtake. This is not a review. This is just me telling you about how much I love this. But as her wedding approaches, Megan Pierce is troubled by a visitor from her past. Detective Mike Brome finds a new disappearance remnants of a cold case. And all this is your typical Harlen Corben style, basically writing. But he writes things so well that I watched this. It took me like 3 or 4 days to watch it because it has like I think it has like 6 episodes. No, actually it has 8. And it is extremely good. And there's so many twists and turns in Harlen Corben's series. I think this is a book because he writes books as well. But Netflix must have some kind of deal with him where they can make movies or something with him or something like that. But anyway, this woman, she used to be a stripper. And she got out of the stripping. She walked away from the stripping thing because there was this guy that was obsessed with her. And then she had this guy that she broke his heart. And she left him cold turkey and he never could find her. She just dropped off from the planet. Then she reappears several years later and she's getting ready to get married. And she has 3 kids. And so the woman that she used to work for found her, and then she was telling her that the guy that killed her, that they thought she killed the guy that had something to do with the business that they was running for the stripper because he was really infatuated by her. But then she had a dude that she broke his heart, and he was a photographer. It's kind of weird. So all this was tying in. She had the photographer guy that she broke his heart because she just disappeared, and then she found the guy that was obsessed with her before she disappeared dead. And she left because she thought people would think that she killed him. Because when she found him, he was all messed. He was all jacked up. So then when the woman that she worked for, that was partners with this guy that was supposed to be dead, she said that she thinks that she was telling him that guy's back. And she goes, well, I thought he died. She goes, no, he's alive because he came and visited me. But there was a little twist to that. This it's your typical Harlen Corben movie series. There's so many twists and turns and so many things. And like I said, this came out in 2021. It's on Netflix, but this is really good. It's one of those ones you got to really pay attention to because it's very complex. It's so many twists and turns. I mean, I thoroughly, really enjoyed this series. But her husband found out that, she used to be a stripper, and then he didn't know who they get ready to get married, because they got 3 kids. And then she has a teenage daughter that's like 17 years old. So, and even her teenage daughter's like, what did you used to be? And she goes, I used to be a stripper. And so her daughter was tailing her, like sneaking out of the house, finding out what her mom went. And she found out her mom went into the strip club. But then she wanted to go into the strip club to see what her mom's doing. And then when she did, she ended up getting in trouble. And then she got in a car with this rich kid. And this rich kid ended up coming up missing. So then all this stuff was tying into everything. I'm telling you. But there's a part in this series that it kind of made me sick to my stomach because I couldn't figure out who was killing these people, and some of this detective was trying to, he kept saying, man, there's something up with these people. They're all dying at a certain time at a certain date. And so I'm like, well, but the photographer, he would flip out. He finally found her and he was trying to find out, why'd you do this to me? And, because at first he found the woman that she used to work for, and she said, well, she died. So he was all bummed out. And then when he went back to his photographer place, he told his buddy, and his buddy's like, oh, she died, but he knew that she was alive. But then later on, he found out that she was alive, and he wanted to talk to her. But there was some twist in that too. But then this photographer guy, was blacking out, and I thought that he was the killer because the way he was blacking out and losing his temper. So I was like, oh man, this dude, no wonder. I mean, she better be glad she left this dude, because he pretty much is a, like a psycho dude, she because, he was upset but he wasn't the killer. He wasn't the killer at all. So then the detective was trying to piece all this together, right? So I'm sitting there going, well, who? Then they found this underground tunnel, and when they went down there, as soon as they opened up, they moved away all the dirt and the grass. And when they did, I ain't never smelt that kind of stuff, but when they opened up, there was a bunch of dead bodies in there, and they had, most of them was decayed away, so they had to use, they said it's going to take a while to get all the DNA samples, but they knew that was those missing men that they had been looking for. This movie's a trip. So in the meantime, there's this rich dad hired these psycho 2 killers that did a bunch of dancing, and they was trying to help him find his son, but the whole time his son was locked up in this trunk, and he was alive. And I ain't gonna tell you what happened with that. It was sad. I was like, oh my God, that would be a horrible death. I mean, to just... Anyway, you guys, this is a very good series. But I want to give you my list. I have not watched all of Harlen Corben's movies on Netflix, but I will give you the ones that I thought was pretty good. My favorite one was The Five. My favorite one was The Five. And then my second one would be Stay Close. And then my third one would be The Stranger. Now, my list I got up here, he's got The Innocents. And my last one would be Safe. I love Safe. So I'll tell you in order. Number 1 favorite Harlen Corben movie that I've watched on Netflix so far is The Five. It is excellent. And it is very excellent. Number 2 would be Safe. It's called Safe. It's just about a safe neighborhood. Oh, it's so good. And then number 3 would be I would go number 3. I would go number 3, Stay Close. And then number 4, I would go The Stranger. The Stranger was a trip too. Oh, excuse me. The Stranger was a trip as well. It was very good. There's a very good spitting there. It was a very good series. So I just give you my list of the favorite ones. Like I said, it would be five would be the 5 would be number 1. The Safe would be number 2. Stay Close would be number 3, and The Stranger would be the last, I think. Let me do that one more time. The 5 would be number 1. Safe would be number 2. Stay Close would be number 3. The Stranger would be number 4. Now he's got a couple more on here. I didn't want to go past 8 minutes, but he's got a couple more on here on Netflix. It's called The Innocent, The Woods. I tried to watch The Woods, but I couldn't get into it. And then Just One Look, I haven't seen that one yet. And then No Second Chance. So I haven't seen those yet. I might have to give them a chance. But man, this is an excellent series. Check it out. God bless. Take care. And we'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you.